We are here to manifest a new earth. But what does it mean exactly? And how do we create it? Welcome to Let's Get Inspired, where I share with you a different perspective I have been developing throughout my life, always looking for a way to heal division. I am so grateful for your presence, and my desire is for this moment together to be a source of inspiration for your path. I am Gwenalide Woods, a seeker of wholeness, and know deep in my heart that we can restore harmony. Today I am sharing my perspective on astrology, which I have been exploring for several decades, fascinated by the birth chart revealing so much. I love raising awareness by looking for new ways of understanding, always driven by the desire to heal inner division. And about 10 years ago, as I was becoming conscious of our culture being based on separation, the birth chart started to reveal a way to support a reintegration of wholeness. As this ongoing exploration unfolds, I am discovering portals within the birth chart able to take us beyond the stories keeping us in this endless replay and so much suffering. Of course, many things are involved in this exploration, started many moons ago with my shamanic and sound studies, opening huge doors to the realm of the invisible, which already fascinated me. Shamanism offered amazing experiences and insights, and sound gave me new understandings on energy flow. Both revealed different angles, showing how indeed everything is connected. It is from the weaving of these insights and my shift of perspective on the culture that I am seeing a different way to explore our inner life, not only to get to know ourselves, but also how through our healing this could transform the culture from within. Our dear culture. No small task to become aware, is it? See, being based on separation, it isolates. And so to find our way, we need to become aware of its structure. Because to reintegrate what has been left out, the answers have to be found elsewhere. Therefore, to restore wholeness, we have to think outside the box. And thank you to our awakening, we are becoming aware of this box. I share my insights in the culture episode if you wanted to hear more. You know, the challenge with reclaiming wholeness is mainly because it is such a different perspective. It weaves together, while separation divides. So shifting perspective is essential to help demystify all we have learned, since of course it is based on separation. This is the practice I have adopted in my life, and with astrology, it is taking me on such an exciting adventure. I know that healing ourselves does not have to be a struggle. You know why? Because we are not alone for this. Within is a partnership between the visible and the invisible. One of my goals is to weave magic and wonder in this work, so that realigning ourselves with life is uplifting and empowering. We want our process of healing to raise our vibration as we become aware, because, and this is essential to remember, high vibrations transform lower ones through entrainment. That's where the power of sound healing is. You know, I see sound healing as the medicine of the future because it restores coherence. But that's another subject. Back to astrology. So yes, the birth chart. I started to look at it from the perspective that we were the energy of the planets, woven in a unique way, and the chart showed our inner world, made of many landscapes and relationships. When you look at it, you will see that you do have all the signs, planets, houses, and elements. Therefore, you are complete. Multi-layered and multidimensional, we are a unique world. And from the wholeness perspective, nothing is missing. It does make me smile when I think of each of us being a world. Can you see it? All these little worlds walking around. And what I love about this is that, again, it shows how indeed we are already whole, and our awakening is about this remembrance. Also, let's not forget that since we are multidimensional, of course our soul is part of the story. Our soul carries deep wisdom and really wants to share it with our human self. We just need to remember how to hear it. Like me, you will probably agree that our soul came here to support this great time of change. When I feel this truth, I cannot help but realize what an amazing opportunity it is to participate as a human in the creation of our new earth. Many wanted to come for this, and we are the ones who made it. How amazing is that? We should be celebrating. So anyway, this being a major moment in time, of course our soul made sure we were equipped for the task at hand. And you know what this means? You are exactly who you need to be, with a direct access called inner knowing to all necessary resources. Indeed, reclaiming wholeness is becoming the one we came here to be. Wholeness is our authentic self. Actually, you could say selves because it includes our soul. Our authenticity is the conscious inner partnership between our soul and human side. At this point, and this is what our awakening is all about, we need to reclaim what has been exiled. And since we are already whole, what has been exiled is simply hiding within. You could call it the unconscious. That's great news, isn't it? And that's why I see it as a remembrance. Nothing got lost, but simply forgotten. We have amazing doorways within. And from the angle I am developing with astrology, I am seeing some right there in our chart, indicating the places to focus on for the healing of our human self, opening the path of transformation and reintegration of what has been exiled. And so this is why we want to be aware of the cultural structure we are held in, because it is the origin of the exile. And you know, when I think about our soul making sure we are equipped, what this means to me is that those doorways were mapped by our soul, choosing the best way to participate in the realignment of the human race. I love the idea mentioned by David Clements that we each came to resolve a puzzle piece supporting this awakening. And I am seeing in our chart a way to become conscious of what our puzzle piece might be. So from this perspective, guess what? Your birth chart is spot on. And there is no such thing as a bad aspect, placement, or whatever else we tend to judge as defective or missing. Our soul manifested the perfect energetic combination where everything is a support. This is what I am noticing as I explore the notion of wholeness. When we shift our perspective, we can start to see how everything actually supports. How many of us have felt burdened or incomplete because of this so-called missing element or that really hard aspect? Well, these are actually places we are here to realign, is what I now see. In my opinion, they are our puzzle pieces. I see two possible expressions of our birth chart. One coming from being asleep, the other awake, meaning one where we are unconscious and so on automatic pilot with all our challenges, which are endlessly triggered, and the other becoming visible through raising awareness and a shift of perspective, revealing a map to not only access our highest potential, but also the unique way we are here to support the awakening and manifestation of our new earth. See, it is our inner world we want to unite because it is the source of our behaviors. So we want to heal this division, creating so much tension and discord, by mending our inner relationships, shown by the hard aspects involving planets not getting along. In the way I see it, our highest potentials are part of our wholeness. And if they seem challenging to achieve, it is not because they are hard, but because they offer a process of integration which is shifting and healing very deep cultural patterns. This is the angle I work from, and it is so rich and insightful as it reveals how to restore inner harmony. So yes, indeed, the most juicy and valuable aspects are the hard ones, indicating abilities to transform our limiting culture. This means that when you address your challenges by mending your inner relationships, you are restoring harmony within, and it will inspire you to very different actions. Therefore, it will also transform our culture. See? Isn't it uplifting to look at it this way? I definitely think it is. And it also makes the work so much lighter and even fun, because it is no longer about coping but freeing, no longer about surviving and desperately attempting to fit in, but becoming whole and aligned with life. Our hard aspects show what we are here to awaken and realign. They are part of our puzzle piece. Can you see? Resolving conflicts heals division, does it not? Therefore, finding harmony in our hard aspects restores wholeness. See what I mean? A hard aspect is a place that is not yet whole. Therefore, transforming it is how we are participating in the restoration of harmony. And you know what else is really magical in this? By healing inner division, we are creating more space for our soul to weave light within our human self. We are integrating our multidimensionality, which is what wholeness is all about. We are entering conscious co-creation between our human self and our soul self. That's where it all starts, because remember, our inner world is the source of our behaviors. So can you imagine your soul and human selves in a conscious partnership? Can you see how this will create our new earth? You know, this is what I have observed. Anything we reject about ourselves is because it is not accepted by the culture. So our inner conflicts are not because we are not good enough or have a problem. It is due to our programming. It is cultural. Therefore, when reclaiming wholeness, over time they will dissolve. Magical, isn't it? So how exactly would we deal with this? Well, we raise our awareness to remember that what has been exiled is due to the perspective we have been raised in. See, what I came to understand was that since nothing in our culture was whole, it meant that none of our definitions and perceptions were either. And so when it comes to astrology, this would mean that the way we define a planet is not whole either. Makes sense, right? And this is the key transforming hard aspects. This is how they can support the awakening, since they cannot be resolved without reclaiming wholeness. As you know, wholeness is a conscious, respectful partnership. This means that we cannot get there by controlling or limiting, which has been our cultural way. A hard aspect shows a place where two energies are at odds because they interact from a perspective of separation. So there is a need to defend and protect. To give a practical example, let's say there is a hard aspect between Uranus and Saturn. Uranus being about freedom and Saturn boundaries, this aspect shows a conflict between the two, which is reinforced by the culture saying that you should fit in. How could you find peace with the need to be free while having to fit in set limits? From our cultural perspective, Can you see how this aspect would always be hard, always hold tension? There would be a constant struggle inside that could never find resolution because they contradict each other, since Saturn is asking to conform while Uranus wants to be free to create something new. For this aspect to become harmonious, Uranus and Saturn need to reclaim their wholeness so that they can become friends and work together. Wholeness is harmoniously inclusive. There is no compliance, sacrifice, or compromise. All willingly participate. And this is where it can get really tricky, because we don't know wholeness anymore. Our definitions are distorted since we live in a dysfunctional culture. There is no space for wholeness, so our energies cannot be fully expressed. See what I mean? I will be sharing a lot more about each planet in upcoming episodes. I'll just briefly mention that I have noticed 2 planets in particular that are so deeply embedded in their negative aspects. Without reclaiming their wholeness, harmony is impossible. They are Saturn and Pluto. We all know about laws and limiting rules, which is Saturn, and control and oppression, which is Pluto. Yes, those are their negative attributes, but that is not all they are. They of course do have positive ones, and when activated, then they support the benefit for all. Just as we are so much more than we have been taught, so are the planets, meaning so are the energies we embody. It is so obvious to me now, it has become core to my offerings, because indeed, until we reclaim wholeness, we cannot heal division. Therefore, harmony is not accessible. In a way, you could say that we are reinventing ourselves as we dissolve division. And that can be a magical and fun adventure, because there is so much to explore and rediscover. The complexity is due to our being asleep for so long. So reclaiming all the attributes of a planet is not obvious at all, because we are so used to its limited definitions. So yes, exploring our inner world through the birth chart is a fascinating adventure offering much support, especially when getting lost. It has become an amazing guide in my awakening journey, and so it is what I offer to support healing division within, from a place of inclusion. You know, isn't becoming conscious so inspiring? And what I find most empowering is to know that indeed all is within, because it means that wholeness is absolutely accessible and is just about realigning within. Due to the depth of our programming, it is an ongoing process, not a quick fix or recipe for perfection. It resolves through time as it dissolves division in layers. I see it as a map guiding our awakening and the unfolding of our becoming. Actually, you know what? It is a treasure map, since it contains our highest potentials. Slowly but surely, what I am discovering with this way of working is that it heightens remembrance by awakening our multidimensionality, since wholeness includes partnership with our soul. And I absolutely love that. You know, for sure, our soul is way older than our human self. Therefore, we hold a lot of wisdom inside. And being able to dialogue with it is golden, isn't it? To me, this conscious partnership is the new earth. So yes, approaching healing through planet attributes helps demystify the stories perpetrating suffering. And the other discovery I made looking at the chart from the energetic perspective is that then, since energy cannot be broken, it is about alignment, meaning that something negative is not set in stone, but simply out of alignment. And this makes all the difference, can you see? Because it shows that there is nothing wrong with us. We don't have a negative forever side, but a misaligned energy. And this is how I am able to include This is how I see the healing of division. So, through understanding the way we have so far integrated who we think we are, we can then see that our inner dysfunctions come from our upbringing and cultural belief system. We are so much more, and this astrology exploration can be a way to discover what it means. Making space for wholeness revives our remembrance. I find this so uplifting. Let's get inspired to the reintegration of our multidimensionality. We are pioneers creating a new way of being by reclaiming wholeness, expanding us beyond this culture, while at the same time transforming it. My offering for this process is an invitation to heal division within through the exploration of the birth chart, our treasure map. So thank you for your presence, your courage, and your willingness. We can do this, We absolutely have what it takes. May my knowing inspires your knowing. And until we meet again, sending much love and gratitude for all you do, like me, to manifest our new earth.